the Bloom Church began in 2019, and this church was under the Oregon Conference. Now, the Bloom Church wanted to reach out to the people in the community. In fact, they wanted to bring people to Christ. And the people also expressed concerns about meeting on Saturdays or coming to church on Saturdays. So the Bloom Church decided to add Sunday worship to their regular Sabbath worship. So they began worshiping on Sundays too. However, this became a concern because, SDAs, we do not subscribe to worshiping on Sundays. Now, the conference came in, but I think initially the conference gave them the go-ahead. But this became a very big issue, and the conference had to go back and tell them to stop worshiping on Sundays. Now, let's read this from the conference website. So this is the Oregon Conference website. It says, the Bloom Church plant began as an Adventist fellowship in late 2019 with public Sabbath worship service beginning in 2020 as part of the Oregon Conference initiative to plant more new churches across the territory. For years, Adventist churches have struggled to effectively reach urban professional young adults and families. Through the Bloom Church plant, a group of young adults set out to reach and connect with this population. So friends, this was a conference-sponsored church. The conference knew everything about the Bloom Church, and they were actually monitoring the activities of the church. Now, this part of the statement says, does Bloom hold to and teach the seventh-day Sabbath? It answers, yes. Bloom believes, teaches, and keep the biblical seventh-day Sabbath. As many recent Adventist churches and ministries reaching out to young adults have done, they held their public Sabbath worship service in the evening rather than the morning. They taught and practiced biblical Sabbath keeping during the Sabbath hours, with small groups connecting to study, fellowship together, engage in serving their community, and experience God in nature. So friends, according to the conference, the Bloom Church believed in the seventh-day Sabbath. They taught the Sabbath. They were actually worshiping on the Sabbath. And what happened? From the start, church leaders have seen Bloom as an evangelistic process, drawing on generations of experience in witnessing and evangelism to carefully outline Adventist beliefs and practices in a systematic way that leads people from wherever they are toward a more complete understanding of the gospel and Adventist biblical beliefs. Bloom's public worship gatherings have always been understood as one of their primary public outreach activities. As such, with their target audience in mind, they came to realize that after a grinding work week, urban and churched young adults desired a relaxed start to the weekend, making Sabbath morning worship an unappealing first contact with Bloom. And also, urban and churched families with children expressed difficulty attending Sabbath evening services, sharing that children's bedtime routines drive their schedule. So friends, these were the reasons why the Bloom SDA church plant decided to change the day of worship from Saturday to Sunday. This part says, in April 2023, Bloom leadership communicated to Oregon Conference that they would answer these challenges by establishing a Sunday morning outreach service to connect with more urban families with children in addition to their Sabbath practices. So with this, they wanted to add Sunday worship in addition to their usual or regular Sabbath service. This was consistent with Ellen White's counsel, and I quote, "Whenever it is possible, let religious services be held on Sunday. Make these meetings intensely interesting. Sing genuine revival hymns and speak with power and assurance of the Savior's love. Speak on temperance and on true religious experience. testimonies for the church. So friends, they supported their act of worshiping on Sunday with E.G. White's writings. I'm yet to investigate this particular quote from Testimonies for the Church. I'm yet to investigate that. So they supported their actions, as I said, with this particular text from Ellen White. Friends, it is a long story, but to cut everything short, the conference later told them to stop worshiping on Sundays. But I think the Bloom Church did not adhere or listen to the instructions of the conference, and they kept on worshiping on Sundays. And according to some sources, they completely stopped worshiping on Saturdays and they were worshiping on Sundays. And I saw a video that some of the women in that church were wearing earrings and everything. But do you know what the conference did later? Let me share that with you. The conference has taken action against the Bloom Church because the church decided not to stop worshiping on Sundays. So let's read this from the conference website, what they did to the Bloom Church. It says, the Oregon Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Executive Committee voted that the Bloom Group plant in Portland, Oregon, will no longer be part of the Adventist Church and Oregon Conference. So the conference has removed that church from the remnant church. So the Bloom Church is no longer an Adventist church, no longer affiliated with the SDA church. I just want to know what you think about this story in the comment section. Was the conference right or they had it totally wrong? I think initially they compromised and this later became a problem for them. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. My name is Brother Lawrence. Thank you for watching and see you next time.